All right, what's poppin', people? Welcome back to Tub Takes. We got what the heck? The fireworks are crazy. Yeah, how's it going? How's it going? Hopefully you can hear everybody good. I was messing around with the audio, so do let me know. Anyways, this is a VGC video podcast where we talk about what's making waves at the VGC scene. We're gonna be talking about the video game championships, Pokemon, Regulation H, Regulation G, whatever. We're joined by my co-host Adi. How's it going?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's great to be back.
I'm glad to be back. We haven't had a lot of news to talk about, but finally the big one dropped last week. I didn't know if we were expecting it or not. We were, but we weren't. Anyways, we also have Nick here. How's it going, Nails?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk about Reg H.
It does just roll right up.
Reg H with my hands. Is it like one of these?
That is kind of actually an H. H-O-T-T-O-G-O. Any Chapel fans. Anyways, yeah, Reg H is actually such a mouthful. I don't like saying it. Reg G, like, it's so easy to say. We'll have to see if we get used to it.
Yeah.
And then we've also got the Twitter guy, SoulSir VGC. How's it going, SoulSir?
Hello, everyone. Jeudy as early, friend of the channel, and I'm here to yap about Regulation H.
Yeah, me and Jeudy me and SoulSir we're close, but not quite like on a first name basis or anything. So yeah. I still just say, Soul for short.
Soul for sure. Please call me that at events. I would love that.
I actually had the wrong thing open. It was supposed to be the intro meme. I had Jody's tier list open, but anyways, they did ban Urshifu, so BGC is playable again. It's true. Is he fresh out of the sauna? I know. Yeah. We were talking about this beforehand, but it's just hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, no, it's heating up on the stream tonight.
Oh my god. I realized that, like, there are multiple definitions to the word hot. Let's keep it chill. There's multiple definitions to the word chill. Anyways, so yeah, what are we talking about today? We're gonna start with some quick, boring ones, but this was last week. I actually wonder if there's still slots for Baltimore. I talked about this on stream last week, so I already covered that. But let's see. It looks like I can still register for Baltimore if I wanted to. Okay, so they're like not full up or anything. And oh yes, thank you, buddy. I did forget about that part.
What exactly 700 registered for Baltimore?
Huh. But it's not. It's not full.
As of 8:13 on Monday morning or Monday night. It's morning somewhere.
That's good to know because I think that a lot of the East Coast regionals have had, some of them have had higher caps than others, especially the ones in big cities like Baltimore. They've sometimes had lower caps than we'd hope when these are tournaments that everyone on the East Coast wants to go to. They're really big tournaments, and with these, with all this crazy pricing in the new system, maybe even Europeans will come to Baltimore. So yeah, I think normally with these type of events, they sell out after a few weeks. So it thankfully didn't insta sell out. You still have some time, but yeah, definitely don't wait too long because I think it will sell out eventually.
You guys are so true.
I'm relieved to see that there hasn't been like an instantaneous massive people just like losing interest on the circuit because of the shrunk World Spar.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. So I don't think that most people who go to Pokemon events are doing it to go to Worlds. I think you could maybe say it's 50 to 80 people who are going to an event because they need to go to Worlds and not because they want to have fun or because they would otherwise not.
So, like, I don't think that's totally fair. I think that, like, for probably 60% of the people they're not that are going to be at Baltimore, they're not seriously considering themselves a Worlds contender. But the fact that the carrot is there is always in the back of their mind, right? Like, you're not... if you're in that like aspirational tier, you're going to be thinking about, oh, maybe I could go to Worlds, and like this, if I pop off here, then I can give it some serious thought. And maybe it doesn't move the needle for like a solid chunk of that player base, but like it's just cool to see that people haven't immediately stopped going to events. Something to track as we go forward if like how much the attendance falls off, because usually it does fall off regardless, just in the third year of a game. And so yeah.
So y'all are not gonna believe who just registered for Baltimore regionals. Because I definitely, just.
You were planning on
Uh,
going, but you
I
didn't
can
register yet or
confirm.
something, or did you think that it
Yeah,
filled
yeah.
up?
No, I knew I was going. I just forgot to register.
Oh,
Can
okay.
confirm we are now at 701 registered players.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
I think that like the numbers for especially an East Coast regional when we didn't really have an actual East Coast regional. Pittsburgh last year was barely an East Coast regional, so I think I was never going to be surprised with the numbers. And honestly, it's definitely a monitor as the season goes. Like, everybody goes into their first few tournaments like, if I do good, who knows what will happen
It's
next
true.
tournament, and that's like how people end up snowballing into a Worlds invite, especially in formats like this. But
Mhm.
yeah, we'll definitely see it. I'm glad that we have over 700 people. Definitely feel like it should be a lot more, but we'll see. Year 3, it's impressive.
And one thing to note that people might not be fully appreciating is that we look like we are going to have fewer regionals this year than last year.
Mhm.
There were 12 regionals this past year, and there has been about one regional scheduled a month in every region, very precisely one a month, I think, in the preview that we got for the first few months of the season. So in that case, there might only be 9 North American regionals uh this year, which is a 25% reduction from last year, or it's 3 less. I think there were 12 last year.
Did we
So
only have 12? I thought we had 15, or am I crazy?
there's no way we had
It-
15. 3,
15
6,
sounds like a lot,
9,
actually.
12.
We've had
No,
15
I
in
think we had
past
13.
years, but not last year.
Okay.
I think I just counted 13. I might have counted wrong. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a decrease in events. And so
Definitely.
if you are pacing your season out, right, and know that you need to go to 6 regionals to get your Worlds invite, all of a sudden the way that you, or 5 regionals and internets, the way that
Right.
you
I was going to ask
pace
that.
this out over the course of the season changes. And so that might be one thing that people are not fully appreciating, and might have to realize as we get to the middle of the season. We're like, oh shit, we don't actually have as many regionals left as we thought we did. If I'm making a push for a Worlds invite, it has to be now.
That was always something kind of like silly fun about like for a couple of years Milwaukee was like the last one, and it was like my local one, and like I was mostly planning the season around like the regionals I could drive to, and you have to account for like those last regionals of the year being the ones that people are like, I gotta lock up my invite before NAIC, I'm gonna go to this one. Except there's no locking up anymore this year. That's gonna be like completely different. But anyways, did you have something to add, Jody?
Oh no, I was just stretching, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are cooking. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No worries.
Just giving
I'm
a good
also
old
just
stretch, giving the people a show.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. So some of the other things that I think I needed to mention were that I realized that they can't see my hands unless they're watching the stream, but you guys can see me doing all these stupid hand gestures. Um, anyways, I wasn't pulling this up for the schedule. I was pulling it up for the schedule because I wanted to talk about Baltimore being the first one. Because we just got the announcement for the format. That the day this was like announced, it was I think like less than 24 hours the format gets announced. Like did the format get announced after the registration went live? Like literally like almost
The
like 30
format
minutes.
was announced like 15 minutes after registration drops.
Yes, it was so whack.
It was like, okay, we hear you guys. You don't want to register for a tournament when you don't know the format. We got you. Here's the dates.
Yep. Super silly timing. But yeah, this is going to be the first in format. There's no anything before it. Um, lately there's always been big grassroots and the like I don't know, VGC is so online these days that you don't go into any format completely raw, but the new format, like everyone's still saving the best of the best stuff for the major tournaments, and that's where people like establish the metagame. So Baltimore is going to be very fun if you want to go to a metagame that is very unestablished. um yeah, this is like super exciting for that reason. I'm very much across the country from it. I think it's like I'd be hard pressed to find a regional farther. I don't know. Is Florida farther from me, or is the that side of the country farther? Florida
will
would be
definitely
farther,
further.
right? Yeah. So I guess, and we're probably gonna have a Florida one. Anyways, it's pretty far. I don't think I'm gonna be at this one, but Jeudy, you just registered. Adi Nails, have either of you guys thinking about going?
I will be attending.
I will probably not be attending this one. I will likely be at Louisville and not at Baltimore, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, registration for that hasn't gone up yet, but they are putting out registration for Dortmund and Joinville. I have that here as well. We're gonna be. I guess this is posted before that. I don't know how much of an international audience we do or don't have. I know some people from Europe watch this, right? I actually think I was talking to somebody who was wanting to get coaching for Dortmund. So actually, you know what? If you're watching this right now, make sure to register. Anyways, yeah, Dortmund registration will be going live tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. So tomorrow if you're watching on YouTube. Anyways, yeah. What else is there to mention about the signups? I don't really think anything. I think that's pretty much it. We'll be talking about Regulation H from this point on, basically. And there's like a lot of like early meta takes and stuff like that. Go ahead, Adi. Did you have something you noticed?
Yeah. I was gonna say one other thing you should register for if you haven't done it is Worlds. If you're going to Worlds, don't forget to sign up and all that shit. You gotta do.
Deadline's like 3 days for streaming, right? I think it's August 8th.
Something like that. Yeah. So don't forget to do that either. The other thing is, I just noticed this. I think this is new. For Baltimore regionals, the registration for Masters is $70. Juniors and seniors is down to 40, which is what it was for internats. But I think regionals has been $60 or $70 for juniors and seniors for the last year as well. So this is a change, I think, too.
This is
Good.
probably tied to the fact that Pokemon's running all these right? That's like what the word is.
Yes.
That's what people are saying. They said like
Yep,
if you want
that
something
is-
done right, you're gonna do it yourself, and so they are. We've had a couple of hiccups over the years, and I'm guessing, didn't like how that made them look, so they're just like, all right, we're gonna just take it into our own hands.
Maybe, but also there is a link to an organizer on the registration page. So I'm not sure who they are. GamingGen.gg. It's not one that is a normal one.
That's one of the LA people, West Coast.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So maybe not. I don't know. I just keep hearing this going around. That's why I asked for some confirmation. Nick gave me a very confident yes, but now Nick, I'm just like, well, what do we know actually? Do we know anything? Anyway.
Not really.
No, I agree.
We never did.
We never did. But that would be actually really exciting, though, if they stick with that, though, make the game a little more accessible for the younger divisions, especially because, as we talked about in a previous episode and a little bit in this one, the changes to the circuit have been unfriendly for all divisions. You know, like it's going to be hard for juniors and seniors to get those world invites too, and so they're going to have to be playing a very different game this coming year when it comes to qualifying for the world championships. All right. With that said, though, let's talk about Regulation H and why nobody cares about worlds anymore. There's a couple of things. We'll start with the positive, maybe then go into the negative, and then maybe we'll actually talk about the metagame. I think people have been talking about the metagame already. People have been playing the metagame plenty already. And this format is going to be the format we play for quite a bit of time. The stretch is from September till January 6th, and so it's going to be like, we're going to have a lot of time with this one. We don't need to rush right into it. We'll definitely talk about the metagame a bit today, but the first thing I wanted to say is on the positive end, Adi can be the bad cop. I'll be the good cop. The good cop here is saying that I'm really excited that they're doing a ban list format. That is just like super interesting. I'm glad that they're willing to do something different. We saw them do a lot of different stuff in Generation 8 with all the formats that they did during the Dynamax era. And I don't know, I just feel like so many people had way too much confidence that Regulation H was going to be double restricted. It was so funny. I'm not rooting against these people, but I just it's funny to see them be proven wrong, because I feel like I don't try and predict Pokemon's next move because we're so often wrong. When they bring out the no Dynamax format in Sword and Shield, when they revisit an old format in Sword and Shield, it was like, well, yeah, no, we didn't see that coming. We didn't think they'd ever do it. This time they've banned all the legendary Pokemon like Landorus and Urshifu. They've banned those guys in the middle of like after they've been released and allowed to us. Now they're going back on that. That's just like so unprecedented. And so I really feel like it opens the doors for a lot of other types of formats that they could do in, I don't know, like it's super cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Never let your opponent know your next move because they don't even know their next move. It's kind of the vibes I got.
I feel you. Sometimes maybe they're just like, you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's just ban all the guys.
You know what? This Urshifu guy, he's not really that fun. But let's get him out of here. He can come back later. He's still gonna be good then.
Yep.
Just take a month off. Take a breather.
He doesn't have to come back later. We don't have to bring him back.
We don't have to bring him back.
That's so true, but
that is why I made the theme. Like, we finally get to play the game. Like,
yeah,
we really do.
Shout out to I saw someone tweeted out. It might have been one of the European commentators who tweeted out, like, you know, I think Protect is going to be really strong in Regulation H, and I was like, dude, Protect is so back. What do you mean I could Protect on Fake Out and not get punished by getting hit through Protect with a move that always crits? What? This is awesome.
Yeah. I think I get to play immediate bad cop. I love this. I've been playing. I think I've played a lot already. I think it's so unfortunate that we're gonna go back to regulation.
No, that is real, and that's not the thing that Adi wanted to bring up, but like that is like so shitty. Like they like literally told us like, here's this fun thing, and here's the day it dies. Like, why did you have to tell us the day it dies? Like, why did you have to say like, have fun now? Because we are killing it. We are ceremonially killing it. Like, it's going to be executed January 6th. Like,
no, it's fine. They're just saying, oh, this is the exact amount of time you get to have fun. Enjoy it while it lasts. Don't squander your time. Play a lot of Pokemon for the next few months because you're gonna wish you had if you don't play enough. Because anyways, we're gonna have a different Reg I format because that's gonna be the Xerneas format.
True. We got Pokemon ZA coming out right afterwards, and so it does kind of line up. But yeah, I think that it is a really good thing that they give us a date for the last day of a format, so that you know, because that's if you're going to San Antonio Regionals, which is in January, and you don't know what format it is, that also sucks, right? And so knowing what format you're going to be playing at Regionals is usually a pretty good thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the downside, of course, is that you can't give people enough time to prep for a regional like Baltimore, but then also have the previous format at the last events of the previous month and have those also be exciting. And so I do think that because Worlds is in the previous format, it is going to be less fun to watch, knowing that there's a brand new format that we all want to play, and we all want to think about and focus on moving forward. And so the Worlds is going to be the last, hopefully, Regulation G format. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that, and how the release of Reg H impacts Worlds and your excitement?
Yeah, so the solution to this is they should always just have Worlds be the first tournament of a format. Just give us fresh format Worlds every single time. That's the answer. Then people can watch Worlds and say, you know what, that looks really fun. I want to use that. And they get like a couple months to try out ideas from Worlds.
This was a random question that I had put in my DMs with Burns, with Justin. But do you guys think that we got it worse last year or this year in terms of like Worlds? Because last year it was first in format, and I'm actually a fan of that. But they robbed us of the regional decks and gave us Urshifu in a year that we didn't have Urshifu legal all year, and that was just like super bad. But this year we have single restricted, which also felt like they're rushing us forward and forward and forward, and single restricted is just like such an awful format. I don't know who does enjoy single restricted. There's probably some people, but it does feel like as it gets to the late stage, like a pretty chaotic, you know, roulette-y format. Like, I hate to use that buzzword because, you know, whatever, but yeah. To answer Adi's question though, I do think that this like does suck. Like they're like, I think you said it yourself. There's no good way to like actually win this because like how do you give enough people enough time with to prepare ahead of time while also not announcing the format before Worlds. Maybe you could have announced it at Worlds. Maybe that would have been enough time. It also would have been exciting. I think we would have went nuts in the venue if they were like, Urshifu is dead and they cut off his head live on stage. That would be so cool. That's what I'm looking for. But can you imagine the Brawler style announcement? But he's just beating up on all of Landorus, Raging Bolt, and Urshifu. That announcement was probably the most exciting announcement they've done at Worlds ever. And it turned out to be an NFE, not even fully evolved Pokemon. So funny. Anyways, I'm jumping all over the place. And I'm just going to say that I do agree with Adi that, it is kind of going to make Worlds much less enjoyable from a spectator perspective, as somebody invested, and probably for the casuals, too, when Reg H is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I agree with all that. Nothing else to elaborate on.
I think it gives people a new John. They'll be like, when they lose at Worlds, I don't even care about this Regulation G bullshit. I'm ready for Regulation H anyway.
I don't care about Worlds. I already got my regional scene figured out. This tournament is already in the past. I didn't care about it.
Yeah, pretty much. But to answer your question, I think while this format sucks, we've had this format. So Worlds should be the culmination of it, and then we never have to touch it again. But knowing that we're gonna come back to this format in January, I'm just I hate it, honestly.
Yeah.
Worlds building has been honestly, if you're a Calyrex player, I thought you guys had it easy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
But everybody lies. Everybody lies. But I think that I really would have loved a Regulation C Worlds. I really would have loved a regional Dex Worlds, and we're never getting those. So I think that D kind of did suck more, for sure, for me at least.
Yeah.
Okay, but they also haven't announced Reg J. Reg J, they're going, you know what, Reg H, that was the most popular format we've had all gen. We're doubling down. We're just shaving the top 10% of Mons off.
On Reg H.
Figure it out, guys.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Okay.
That's the World's format for next year.
That's the
Can I be a
curveball.
little honest?
What?
I honestly think that they regulations, etc. They do not care about balance. This is not a balance decision. This is maybe they realize that the players will probably not want to play double restricted the entire year decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if they care about the balance, they would see the reception of Regulation H and not throw us back into Regulation G. This is just a little pit stop before we fill their quota of getting us a double restricted Worlds. There's if they actually cared about a balance, we'd get an actual ban list and we get actual feedback from the players.
Mm-hmm.
This just kind of seems like a random decision, truthfully, but it's a random decision that is received well for a reason, right? We're tired of
Dude, I don't know. I kind of
I have some stuff to say about this.
I love and hate it, Jeudy. The thing is it is kind of fun that Pokemon just isn't Smogon OU or whatever, or a fighting game that receives balance patches. They just kind of say here it is, you're gonna play it for however long, and some of the stuff's gonna be good. You can decide if you want to use the good stuff to the best of your ability, or if you want to work really hard to figure out how to beat the good stuff. I think that that Nails was joking about it or not, the format that they did in the past where they banned the top 10, Audi, the the Series 6 GOAT. I think that's kind of ass, and it's a really bad way to do it. They end up, cutting stuff out. You would have to have a dedicated balance team, which of course they could do, but I personally, maybe I've been hit, Stockholm Syndrome from playing it for 10 years now, but I've never actually minded just them saying, here's what you're playing, now go solve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I think that Pokemon, and especially doubles Pokemon, is really special in that regard. Where um, the brokens in this game are just way less oppressive than in any other game. The amount of like teching you can do for broken stuff, and like have it be effective is like way better at handling outliers than in like pretty much any other game I've played. Um, like for 2016 Smeargle, which is probably the biggest outlier we've had in the past decade since I started playing at least. Um, you just had like safeguard and taunts and lumberries on every team, and you like Smeargle wasn't oppressive. It was just very, very, very heavily teched for everywhere. And like that's the logical extreme. And there was still a metagame that formed around it, and the metagame was kind of stupid. But usually, it Dynamax is also in that boat where you like the tactics change, but the metagame still gets to like a somewhat healthy spot, even if the games themselves are kind of stupid. Um, and so that just that trait of doubles Pokemon to just like allow the player base to adapt to whatever you throw at them just kind of does allow the devs to shrug and say go figure it out, and it kind of works. They also could ban stuff, and it would probably make the game better, but um, like the Stockholm syndrome is like pretty valid because it works. It works good enough.
I think I agree, and I'm of the opinion that I really at this point I don't care what format we play in. I'm good. Like the best players are gonna do good. I'm gonna do good in the format. But I do think it's kind of funny because I think they when we talk about it more, they stumbled into making a really good format, despite everything being so arbitrary.
With Reg H.
So
with Reg H, yes.
I wonder who designs these formats or who chooses these formats, because we think of it as, hey, this is the format that we're going to be playing, best of 3 open team sheet at regionals for this period of time, and that's kind of the way that we think about it. But if you're in Asia, you're not playing best of 3 regionals, you're playing best of 1 closed team sheet online qualifiers for your nationals, right? And so how do you balance a format for those two very different things, plus also have the same ban list for battle spot singles, which you also usually have the same ban list for? Like it kind of is an impossible task, and I understand why they've having one ban list for all those things is kind of an impossible task, I should say. And so I understand why they've taken the simplest approach. I wish that they would try to put more nuance into it and say, okay, well, this is the best of 3 ban list, this is the best of 1 ban list, the battle spot singles ban list, kind of keep those apart a little more. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that from the way that I read the situation is that I don't know if TPCI has any say or very much say in what these formats are going to be. I think it is largely based on what Japan wants, what TPC wants, and what they want the format on cart to be for the Battle Stadium ladder.
Game
and what's going to get the most people playing and watching the Battle Stadium ladder, because that's really the honestly, this partially is the goal of these tournaments, is to get people to buy the game, get people to play the game more. What are people playing in the game the most? And so that's my tinfoil theory on what they're really trying to optimize for with respect to the formats, more so than the best of 3 competitive aspect of it. But also, I just really am curious, who makes those decisions? Who are we complaining to? Because I really don't know.
No one. We're not complaining to anybody because they're not listening. That's the real thing. But
it's probably a 3-person team of balance guys at Game Freak. And they just vote on stuff, and like if 2 out of 3 of them want to do something, then that's the majority.
It's like you guys watched the South Park episode when they're trying to figure out who makes Family Guy episodes, and it's just like a bunch of manatees picking out a random ball, and that'll be like the gag. It'll just be like 3 words, and I feel like it's like kind of similar, because especially with how little communicated is communicated to us, right? The manatees, Zanny knows. That's how it feels like sometimes.
It is like that. That is why I mentioned earlier, I don't think we could try to predict where they're going to go You know, they love to break conventions. They love to do something different. And I'm glad that Adi mentioned it. Why they don't do things more specifically is because like they just don't seem like they want to take the time to fine tune. They're just putting a ban list out for, 3 I guess like different formats entirely: singles, doubles, and tournament play. So that was a really good point there. That it's just so much simpler for them to just pick like categories of Pokemon and say that they're allowed or not allowed. And yeah, we might jump back to some of the higher level stuff like this, but let's actually talk about the metagame and what it is. And like first off, what is actually happening here, and then we'll talk about like what's going to be good and not. We can open up Jeudy's tier list and talk about why he was like stupid when he made it. But
hell yeah,
because like that tier list is like, how old is it? August 1st? It's like 4 days old. Surely some of this stuff is really bad by now because it's been 4 whole days. Anyways, let's talk about this format though. So they banned legendary and paradox Pokemon, and one of the first Pokemon people were asking questions about was Ursaluna Blood Moon, but it's on the picture. Like it can't be banned if it's on the picture. It seems like it's just a regional form of Ursaluna, which is just like an allowed Pokemon. So this is banning the restricted legends again. Of course, they're gone. Mewtwo, sorry, and then the legendaries and sub-legendaries. I don't even know like what the categories end up being between those guys, but like you can see here, your regional trios like Articuno and the Beasts. The new guys, like obviously the Paradox Pokemon are banned, but the special Paradox Pokemon like Raging Bolt and stuff, they're gone. Ogerpon, Urshifu, they're gone. Okidogi's gone. What are some other guys that are like? I mean, like then we can just talk about like meta relevant ones like Landorus, is gone. Reggie Drago, the Regieleki are gone.
Yeah, all the rune Pokemon are gone. Like I think
runes. Yep.
People know what the legendaries are. I think Urshifu is obviously the one that we've been rejoicing about for a while. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to play without any of these haymakers. We obviously played a little bit with those guys back in Series 1. But now, notably, honestly, it feels like Series 1 plus rather than Series Reg G minus, I guess, right? Where we have Series 1 plus the Pokemon from the 2 DLCs. And so I kind of want to look at the Pokemon from the new DLCs and what's going to be good. At least that was my initial impression, but I have not actually had a chance to play much of this format. So, so
I don't
know that's the best approach. Also, Len, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it.
Oh hell yeah! Let's go. How's it going, people? Welcome over from Len's raid. We're in the middle of talking about Reg H. Some for the first time, some for the 6th time. I don't know how many times it's been. How many days it's been since this format was announced. Anyways, how's it going, guys? So that was also like that's a good point though, Adi. You're talking about like we're playing Reg A plus the DLCs and a couple of Pokemon that came in Regulation D. Regulation D, if you eliminate the legendaries, I think it just comes down to the Hisui Pokemon. So Bastion Legion, Ursaluna, Rock Arcanine, and Lilligant. Some of like the big ones you can think of from there. And then also, we're playing with new moves that the DLCs did add to us. We just got the raid from Len. Len, when you were spamming, Psy Spam, with Hatterene and stuff, that it didn't have Expanding Force back then. But now we're playing in a format where Hatterene has Expanding Force. It's not just Armorage. And so, there are like a lot of things that separate it from Reg A, which we were playing early. And then like actually I forgot, it wasn't just the Hisui Pokemon that came in Regulation D. We also got like some starters, like Rillaboom. Anyways, the starters also came back like completely in Indigo Disc. Instant and Rillaboom are in the format. Urshifu isn't. Go ahead, Adi.
You got your boy back. You got Weezing back. Didn't even think about him.
He's been around. Oh, but you're saying he came out.
No,
with the
it was Reg D.
Yeah.
It was Reg D. Yeah.
What? Oh, was Weezing one of the D Pokemon?
Weezing was Reg D. Clefairy was Reg D, I think.
Yes.
A couple of them.
Yes.
P2, or was that Reg E or F?
I don't know.
That was,
They
that
were
was
a
like
bunch-
the.
I feel like
There
I'm
were a
being
bunch
lied
of
to.
random-
Also, what was this list? Was it like just
I pulled it up.
arbitrary? Oh, go ahead and link it to me,
It's-
please. And also, yeah, well, I don't.
There's
What's
this-
the criteria?
There's one for Teal Mask. There's one for Indigo Disc. I've been scrolling through CRB, but here I'll post it with text for voice. But yeah, there's like Komodo is another Pokemon I've seen that was not available until Reg D, or I think it was Reg D. And won a regional. It was pretty good. So that's another guy that we played a little bit more with, but was not available in that Series 1 format that we're a little more familiar with.
Oh yeah, no, Adi, you were just wrong. Okay, so no, you're saying D.
What?
E is when Teal Mask started.
I meant-
D was the world's format.
Sorry. Yes,
Um,
sorry. I meant E. My bad.
All good.
I was looking at the DLCs.
Yes. So yeah, we got like a bunch of returning guys that are worth mentioning, and also the non-legend additions that they added. Like Ogrepon gone, the masks or the loyal 3, the lousy 3, whatever, gone. Okidogi was too OP for this format. But we have like Sinistcha. Sinistcha is a Pokemon that I think could do well in a regional dex. Ursaluna. I guess that guy's like on the cover, and it's on the cover for a reason. I don't actually know how people are going to be handling Blood Moon. We'll see as the format goes on, but yeah. Then what else did they give us in the next one, Indigo Disc? It was Arcaludon.
Yep,
In terms of new
Arcaludon
guys?
and Hydrapple
Yes,
are the two legal ones.
the 2 legal guys. Then Pecharunt was never VGC legal, and Terapagos was only legal in restricted formats. So yeah, not like a ton of new guys, but a ton of returning Pokemon that came with Teal Mask and Indigo Disc. And we could go through and talk about the notable ones, but they've all been like legal and stuff, just kind of power crept out. And so it's probably more noteworthy to like, we could use Jeudy's tier list as a baseline, talking about Pokemon that will be good. And also like, again, some like slightly higher level stuff, like, the fact that they chopped off the best fairy type. Like, what's the top?
Yeah.
What's the best fairy type now? People are just trying to figure that out, and like dragons get to play the game again. Reg A, Hydreigon was like pretty dope because it was faster than all the fairy types. Then Fluttermane came and just said like Terra or die. Mimikyu. Wait. Ooh, I think Mimikyu is slower.
We do have Mimikyu.
Hold on. Who's no, pop quiz.
We
Who's
also
faster?
had Mimikyu
Who's
in
faster?
Reggae, but
They're like very close to each other, I'm pretty sure. Pop quiz. Adi, do you know the answer? Who's faster, Hydreigon or Mimikyu?
It's oh god, I should know this. It's
I know the
Hydreigon,
answer.
right?
It is Hydreigon.
Hydreigon's 98.
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
Hydreigon's a point
97.
faster because Hydreigon's a point faster than Urshifu, right? Or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Mimikyu's a point slower than Ursh.
Yeah.
Wait. Mimikyu is 96?
Yep, Mimikyu's 96.
Oh, I thought it was 97. I thought it like speed.
Nah.
Alright. Anyways, yeah, so Hydreigon, like, dragons, they get to play the game again. And so yeah, like looking across, like, Jeudy has a kind of all organized here, like Como, and then there's like all the pseudos, like Dragapult, Dragonite,
I
Baxcalibur,
did organize
Summons.
it, yes.
There you go. And then they're next to some of the fairies, Sylveon and Primarina. They're like, here's what's gonna keep them in check. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Like I feel like that's just like already a big shakeup. We talked a lot about the legends being banned, but we didn't actually talk a ton about the paradoxes being banned. So that means no Raging Bolt, no. I think the more relevant ones are like picturing what we were doing in Regulation B and C with the the Ruinous Pokemon and the Paradox Pokemon. Then like you don't got Iron Hands to just kind of switch in on every
No, Great
attack.
Dusk.
You don't have Great Dusk was so cool. Like, I missed that guy. Like he was like just kind of like interesting. He had a
Great
clear
Dusk
weakness.
was really good for like a month and a half. It was like maybe like 4 or 5 months, but then it completely fell off.
Big Daddy Urshifu came back. But like, I don't know. That it's just so cool. Like that you don't have to like worry about every physical or special attacker having a, activate on switch and damage boost, unless you're playing against Charjabug or Sojourner. The ruinous Pokemon are gone. Chi Yu and Qian Pao, boosting some of these Pokemon to the extreme. So like you could see Choice Band Terra Normal Dragonite come back, but again, are we sticking it next to Ston Journer just to like, relive the glory days of having Shanpao? Like what what are we doing here?
We're terraforming that guy. And we're
I'm here for
cooking
that.
Terra
No, yeah. I'm gonna say definitely the biggest question I've gotten asked on stream is like, will Dragonite be good if Chien Pao's no longer there? And I think the biggest reference I'll do is like you mentioned like BNC and Adi mentioned it's like Series 1 Plus. Looking at Series 1 results and building teams off of that is also still very successful. You'll see a lot of success doing that too. But
I'm not so sure. There's been a lot of power added to the game since Reggae. Both in the terms of like mons being added, but also just the moves. Like in Reggae, mons were tossing around like 80, 85, 90 base power moves, and like now we've got expanding force on everybody. We've got meteor beam. We've got just a lot more power flying around. I expect, just the power level to be ramped up a lot, even if the mons are mostly at a similar level to the mons in Reggae. The moves are very different.
Yeah, that it is seriously a huge deal.
So,
I think Adi, you go.
Well, so we also have like crazy strong defensive tools that we didn't have back then, right? So Instant and Rillaboom are crazy good Pokemon that we didn't have access to, Instant especially. And then Porygon 2, I think, was another guy where we're talking about like slower, bulkier Trick Room setters we can try to take advantage of. And so, I mean, we were using Garganacl back then, right? Like I see Garganacl on your tier list. You actually have it pretty high. But I don't know. We have a lot more cool defensive tools that we can use as well to try to provide counterplay to these offensive threats. But yeah, nothing on the power level of Whimsicott beating up an Annihilate or of like a Blood Moon that we have to deal with. So.
Yeah.
It's a new format, so it's time to have Adi plug his like how to do well in early format video or something. He's always mentioning that one at the top. When you're starting something out, like how do you get ahead? Like what are some of the big things that you can think of besides just regurgitating the whole video, Adi?
Well, I think that the main things that I remember from that video, and I gotta go find the video now. You mentioned it, or someone wants to find it, link in chat. The main takeaway that I got was you want to be as comfortable with your team as possible. And so that means that if your team is similar to a team that you've used in past generations and past formats, that's all really good. It means that you have a level of comfort with your play, a level of confidence in your reads that you're not going to have otherwise. And then, just knowing what the Pokemon do, knowing like that's more so new generation, but knowing what all the Pokemon do, knowing all the mechanics, all the interactions is so important. Don't get caught off guard by surprises, and you are playing through a field that is going to be very diverse because no one knows what's good yet. And so you have to be ready. You have to be able to play against anything, even if you're not necessarily ready for anything.
Yeah, I think thankfully there's not going to be any like tricky new mechanics or anything, because this is just like a peeled back Reg G, even though it isn't, but it is, but it isn't. So like everything was legal before. We should have had to know what all this stuff does. That said though, pop quiz for you, Adi. What does Triple Arrows do?
Triple Arrows. Is this the Heat Decidueye move?
It is.
It's
and how many stamina stacks does it give to Archelodon?
Triple Arrows better be 3 stamina. I have no idea what that move does.
You have no idea? All right, cool. We get the game on him with our Hisui and Decidueye guys. Adi's gonna get farmed. Yeah. So I don't think it actually hits 3 times. I think it just hits once.
The answer is 0 to 1.
Yeah, it either hits or it didn't, I guess.
No, because it has a defense drop chance.
Wait, what?
But yeah,
it does have a defense drop. I just don't know how that reduces the number of. Anyways, so it. Oh, it drops the. I get it for the stamina. I get it.
Yeah, it gives it 1 stack, but it might also take a stack away.
Yeah. So Adi, the move has a high crit chance like Leaf Blade, but it has a 50% chance to drop your defense and a 30% chance to flinch. It's so funny. On top of the mod having Scrappy, like that's like pretty cool.
All right. Yeah, no, it's cool to see these mods in action. We just have not had a chance to play with these guys and might not in the foreseeable future. So, yeah.
Right.
That is not a Pokemon that we'll ever see play when Urshifu is legal. But
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's like the case for a lot of Pokemon that just get to, exist again. Yeah, like there's like I'm looking through and Mimikyu. I would love to play with Mimikyu again. That's a Pokemon that's always felt so unique. Really allows you to do some cool stuff with it. And like the Tauroses are another Pokemon that I see here that we might be able to give a try. They have a decent matchup into Incin and Rilla. If you pick the fire one, you can just kind of punch them. What are some other Pokemon here that stand out that you guys think could be good that definitely didn't have a chance in Reg G or even Reg F?
I think something that is neat. I don't know how good it is, but all three Rotoms, or basically any electric type in the format now has access to Electro Webs. Burns mentioned it, but there's a lot of new TMs and a lot of new moves on a lot of these Pokemon.
Absolutely.
So that can be a cool speed control option.
You didn't think you had to worry about Glamora wiping you off the map with Meat Beam in Reg A because it didn't have it.
Yeah.
But now you have to be well, who's taking this beam? Then again, you can just protect on it because that move's allowed again. You're not clicking protect and then also getting hit for 50% of your HP or more with the surging strikes. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Adi, you have do you have any shot mons you want to give a shout?
Yeah, I've got a good opinion and a bad opinion. The good opinion is that I think Sneasler, Jeudy, you have Sneasler too low.
That's the good one?
Far too low.
Oh, wait,
yeah,
I follow.
Sneasler,
I'm worried.
I know why Sneasler didn't see play in the formats where it was legal, but that guy has a lot more stats than I remembered having when I was looking through it. So I think it's got a cool kit. I think it'll see some play. And the other guy that I think this was the bad one. I think Darkspawn could come back. We have not seen Darkspawn really do anything since a little bit in Series 1. But
I'm sorry,
we have
what?
a new fake out immune. We have a new fake out immune lava plume mod
Typhlosion
next to it. So all of this Typhlosion. So it's gonna be good now. It has to be, right? What are you gonna do? Fake it out?
Dude, that actually sounds heat. I'm here for Typhlosion Darkspawn.
That sounded better than Sneasler.
It did sound better than Sneasler. I'll admit. Nick, do you have anything you want to give a shout to?
So good stuff is I think Jeudy has all three steel types too. I think they're all borderline S tier. Goldie, Gambit, and Arch. They just take over games, and they are they're the focal point of the battles. They're all fighting with more stats than everybody else, and they resist normal, which is really important and really not very well distributed in the format. So those guys are gonna get the joint shout out. I'm still working on what I think is undervalued. I could give a shout out to Bramblegast, I guess, because Jody's got him in D tier, and
what's it got on Incineroar? What's that mon got on Incineroar? That's always my question.
It's got strength sap. We're just going back up.
All right.
No, that's kind of valid. I don't know. I haven't really looked much at. I haven't looked much at the format yet.
Go ahead, Jeudy.
To defend the Arcaludon, when I put it there, I think that for one, I rate Goldango highly. I think Goldango is broken and it fits in super well, whereas Arcaludon's moveset is kind of awkward. And when I was thinking about it, I was still thinking about it in the context of wanting Pelipper greatly, which it still might want. But I think I'm also interested in seeing what people do with Arcaludon outside of Rain.
Yeah, you can just slap a power herb on it, and you get either meat, beam, or electro shot. Either one works with power herb, and you get your +1, and then you just start clicking like Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, Bloody Press, whatever you need to finish your set off, and you can protect on your guy instead of not protecting, and it's pretty cool.
We do have to keep in mind that this was 4 days ago, Jeudy, who's like worse than your average Reg H player now. Like they're all so good now. They're all so strong and know the meta. So this guy was terrible.
I will also say I'm pretty strict with like when it comes to tier lists. I think about like how splashable they are in my mind. But like everything that's like that's listed is I think is still viable and will have a place. So like I'm never like too big on like, oh man, Archeludon's B+ and not like A, S. Like they're like pretty much all like the same to me. It's just like I don't like having like a top tier that's like 20 Pokemon because that would be me lying to you. But I do think that this meta is going to be very wide. There's a lot of different things. I don't know if you saw like Hirofumi even posted like a matchup chart, and it showed like 6 different teams. Actually, an idea appropriation. I wasn't Hirofumi. It was
I remember seeing that one, and it's like it's talking about a lot of the big archetypes. You know, I was talking about this during a coaching session. I actually had like a Reg G coaching session, and like the day it got announced, it was like, all right, are we talking about H? And it's like, yeah, of course we're talking about H. Yeah, you know, it talks about some of the big like archetypes that people are going to see. So Dondozo, definitely. Side Spam, definitely. Mouse Ape, not looking forward to that one coming back. Blood Moon, your boring balance stuff. I like that they put D-Max Rilla. T-Tar just kind of here. I don't know what T-Tar's doing, but Sam.
He's part of the team.
He's got no friends, no homies to stand beside him, but he is here. I wanted to mention
normal resist.
I wanted to mention one Pokemon that stood out to me here, just like in general, thing that I think seems cool and fun is Dragapult. Dragapult seems like a pretty strong Pokemon for a couple of reasons. We talked about there being a slight lack of fairies. We also talked about I don't know if we've talked about it yet, but like the speed ceiling is always an important thing in a format, and a lot of the times we've seen like, you know, it was Shadow Rider in this past format, and then like, you know, Flutter and Qianpao. It's been faster than those guys, but we had very easy access to like booster speed on Iron Bundle or Flutter Main again. And so it wasn't really the fastest guy around. But now it kind of is. It really could be the fastest one. Like, you know, Electrode is faster than it, yes, and I don't care. Like, it'll beat the Electrodes. It's a dragon type. The Electrodes aren't going to, you know, do well. But, like, anyways. Dragapult seems like a cool Pokemon to potentially rule the top of the speed tier if it wasn't for Unburdened Sneasler. Unburdened Sneasler, unfortunately, going to be on top of that one. So, Adi, you win again.
No, yeah, I think the other thing is that it's so fast that even if you run Adamant, you actually outspeed Meowscarada.
See, that's
so I think that is actually really cool.
Wait, you're running Adamant? I think it's a modest guy.
You could also run it special.
Hey, if you run it special, we can run anything, really.
Dragon Darts is a very cool move. It's not terribly consistent. You just drop Specs Draco Meteors, your fake out immune, and you can like pivot out after and like get another one later in the game. That's what I have Dragon Ball doing in the format.
This format just sounds so fun, man. What are we doing?
We're playing Regulation G in like 2 weeks. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we are.
We sure will be.
Mr. Darthbean asks a good question. You mind if I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, why is Rilla, Instant, Amoonguss sad face in Reg G, but happy face? I think that Pokemon like Instant and Rilla will always be good balancey mons. They're not like outwardly egregious in the thing that they do. However, when you added a Pokemon like Urshifu to the mix, where, you know, you can fake out and then also lock down any option. Your opponent can't use Protect. It became toxic really quickly. And I think that was one of the bigger reasons for that. I think if you guys want to add any more to that, but yeah, that's like the biggest one. Urshifu's broken. Urshifu is stupid. You should never be able to hit through Protect.
If the Incineroar engine is a bigger part of the game, and there's a bigger focus on it, you can put more eggs into the basket of just countering those guys. If you have to worry about the restricted, and that's where you have to focus most of your effort, and Incineroar can just get to do whatever on their own, that's when they get to be unfun.
Yep, pretty much that. And they're just kind of like, staple support pieces. Like, we will see them returning to do a bit more offense in a format where their attack stats are not being, power crept by restricted Pokemon. You might be able to see Incineroar, return to just running dual stab, because, like, they actually make pretty good progress in a non-restricted meta. And so that's, like, the things that changed with it. But, like, it doesn't really, like, bum me out that these Pokemon are here, because they just kind of, like, enable VGC's gameplay. Like, you're always going to see an Intimidate Pokemon, a Fake Out Pokemon, and, like, terrains are strong, too. The thing is when, like, they're enabling stuff that's, like, outwardly toxic. Like, a Pokemon that has a 120 base power spread move that gets, an attack boost on KO, or, you have a Pokemon that has 3 Protect. Like, it is just Urshifu, like, literally, even if they just, like, went back to Reg F with no Ursh, I'd probably be celebrating just as hard. If they went back to Reg G without Ursh, I still might be celebrating just as hard. Like, I feel like a lot of it is just Urshifu.
Pretty much. Ogerpon's kind of stupid. The Ivy Cudgel crits got really old really fast, and I'm not going to miss him. But they just kind of stat checked everything, and so now we're going to have slightly different guys stat checking everything, and so it'll take a while to get used to it, and then once it gets a little bit tiring, then we'll move on. And that's the point of the rotating formats, is nothing gets stale for too long.
But yeah, there are, like, a lot of I talked about a lack of fairies, but there's also a bit of a lack of, like, fightings, as Kanal's kind of pointing out. Like, not terribly a lack of. There, like, there are 2 strong ones I can see on the tier list right now, like Annihilate and Como. Electrics are also pretty starved. Like, if I go and search for electrics, you will see, like, Kilowattrel. I think, yeah, he's down here and don't waste my time. Jeudy, why is Kilowattrel don't waste my time? Jeudy, why is my favorite starter bird in don't waste my time? He's so good. There's no electric types. Why is he so bad?
You could have. I was convinced. I ran it the first tournament in Regulation A, but now there is Whimsicott. Here's Whimsicott.
That's true.
Well, yeah, no, you put them next to each other.
You talked about the Rotom forms too. Those are also electric types. So we actually have more electric types than I thought. Toxtricity.
I'm very unimpressed by the Rotom forms.
I think Electroweb is a real tool. I think Electroweb is a really good tool. I haven't played the format at all, so I'm just speculating. But, like, having access to, and also generally speaking, Levitate with Terra is really strong, especially in a format with multiple Ursaluna. You can still Terra and potentially Terra into something like Terra Steel, and now all of a sudden your Rotom walls the Blood Moon. Sort of. It still takes a lot from Blood Moon, but
that's the right question.
Like, we've found just throughout like every Terra format, the way to abuse Terra is to take your stat ball and make it a different flavor stat ball, so that, like, if your opponent's trying to fight uphill but, like, prey on weaknesses to beat your guy that has more stats than them, then you just flip that on them and you can go back to stat checking. And Rotom really does not vibe in that type of gameplay.
Maybe right. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe he was wanting electric type that badly. But also, notably, again, you have Electabuzz on there, and Electivire is also legal now. Although I think that's pretty aggressively bad, if I remember his stats correctly. But yeah, I think like both those guys are electric types, and all of a sudden their attacking stats are not negligible as compared to a restricted format. Talked about Magmar and Magmortars potentially guys that have flexibility, where they have the redirection ability and they also have a little bit higher attacking stats as well. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's more options than we're initially giving credit for, I think. But that's the fun of these sort of regional formats, is that there are a lot of options, and we're gonna see zany stuff pop up and do really well, and it's all very exciting to watch.
My prediction is that there are no viable electric types. I think we're headed for a format without it. If you want a Terra guy, like go Terra Electric Backs. That guy sounds pretty good. That's still stat checking people, but and it does the whole built beam thing. So there's your electric type, Bax Caliber.
Wait, Archaludon isn't an electric type?
Arch is your electric type. That's a good shout. Like after the +1 boost, it's basically just throwing out around 130 base power electric stab.
That's
Yeah,
not
good
what I
shout.
intended. Yeah.
Yes,
I
Archaludon
think,
is in fact the electric type. Dang, that's true.
Oh, but no, I think ultimately it is team building above any arbitrary Pokemon ranking, but it's good to have thoughts organized. Ursaluna, we didn't really talk. We talked about how the damage ceiling increased, but like Ursaluna Blood Moon is probably the first like immediate. Going from Regulation A, the big one was Terra Steel Spextango, and now it gets a buddy in Ursaluna, and that is less resist because it hits ghost types for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting as well. And I think that's going to be the next thing that's going to be messed up is how do you EV for speed all of these like mid like base 50, base 60, base 70 Pokemon in a format where like the speed ceiling is so low?
You figure it out. You commit to running either a little speed or a lot of speed or some speed.
Oh, that sounds like, yeah.
Goldilocks.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of nuance in it, and like deciding exactly where you stop, because I need these calcs to be exactly this precise, and like if I went 8 EVs further, it wouldn't be as strong on average. Like that is the format we're playing now, and I mean, I'm here for it. I love those types of team building decisions.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like we're returning to actual VGC.
It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much more there is to say about Reg H, other than, you know, like diving really like super specifically deep into the actual metagame. It feels like something that, you know, we should just be playing, you know, at this point.
Yeah. I guess one last thing is that we do have weather. All the weather mons are available.
That's true. Like Ninetales wasn't there in Reg A for sure. But now
wasn't, right?
And now
T-Tar's Expo, yeah.
We got T-Tar. Wait, was there just like no?
No, we had T-Tar and Reggae. He was there.
Yeah, T-Tar was around. T-Tar was around. I was like,
yeah,
we didn't have no
Snow, we had Torkoal, and we had Pelipper and Reggae. They were all there. Just now we have better ones, like Ninetales and Ninetales.
Hey.
But yeah, I know that this is a bit early, but like it was gonna be a light one regardless. I don't know. Should we move on to the Calcus, right? What do you think, Gotti?
I'm the person who's played Reg 8 to the least, so I have the least to say about it. So I'm gonna defer.
I think we can go ahead. I'm not trying to like get us out of here or anything. It's just that yeah, like you know, we've talked about the metagame a bit. We've talked about all the other stuff. And I'll probably be streaming it, playing it some tomorrow. So if we want to like, you know, actually get to games, we can just, you know, play it some and then, you know, also prepare for Worlds. Wow, it's so depressing. Anyways, let's think of some Reg H calcs to wrap this one up. and
I've
go
got
from
one
there.
ready.
You already got one, Nick? All right. What is your reg H Cal?
So I was feeling inspired by the Jeudy discussion earlier.
Let's go.
So we're going triple arrows, max adamant into Goldingo. And this is no bulk Goldingo. It's got a choice specs and it's ready to make it rain. But we got some arrows to shoot at it. How much are we doing? We're making it rain back on it.
Okay, so it's just 0 bulk Golden Go.
4 HP Goldingo. And yeah, max adamant Decidueye.
Don't cheat if you don't know Decidueye's attack stat. Don't look it up. I think I do, but all right, I'm ready.
We're also I'm fine with going through and quizzing people on Decidueye's attack stat. Decidueye Hisui, of course.
I'm pretty confident about that one actually. I'm more confident about the attack stat than the Calc. So
Okay, Jeudy, what do you think its attack stat is?
Like a weird starter number, like 112 or like 115.
I think it's 112.
Adi,
Exactly.
what you got?
it's 125.
Okay, and Alex, what's your calc?
My calc is I'm gonna go with the number. I'm gonna go with 112. I think it's killing no bulk Golden Go, but like it's gonna very quickly not kill if they start running bulk.
Okay, so we got 112 and 112. Adi, what's your guess for calc?
I'm gonna say I also think it kills. I'm gonna go 120. It's a little higher than that.
Okay, so you went 125 and 120. Jeudy, what you got?
You know, same funky attack number. I'm gonna go actually. You know, I feel like I'm getting baited. I don't know how strong triple arrows is. I'm gonna go with like 99 to like 105 for some reason.
You got to pick
Nah,
one
right.
number.
I'm gonna go with 105.
Okay, so we got 112 attack and 105 damage
Yeah.
from Jeudy. Put it up, Alex.
I got it. It didn't take long because it was in the calc. You said it was adamant, right? I do believe it was adamant.
It was adamant.
Yeah. So we're
Calc
doing
to fall.
97.5 to 116.
Yep, sounds about right. So Jody's entire range was in the range.
That's true.
Adi had too much faith in Decidueye hitting the gym. It is only
was based
112 base attack.
If it was base 125 attack stat, I had nailed it.
That is true.
So yeah, if you put on like max HP on the Golden Go, it lives it pretty easily. But we also haven't given our Decidueye any kind of multiplier if it can afford to run like a Life Orb or get a Helping Hand next to it, or maybe a Chien Pao. Anyways,
It is only base 60 speed, so it might not be fast enough to pull that off.
Right.
Okay.
It might be not looking so hot for a hero. I'm afraid, but
Yeah. I do have a calc.
All right, what do you got?
yeah, go for it.
You know, we alluded to it earlier, but we have a Ursaluna Blood Moon.
Right.
It is Life Orb.
Yep.
It is Terra Normal.
Mhm.
It is being helping handed.
Mhm.
The Blood Moon is going into a max HP, max special defense, Terra Steel Rotom Wash. How much is it doing?
Rotom Wash, max HP, max Spadef. And is it nature?
Yes.
Could we have like a
Calm. It is calm,
Or
yes.
Spadef nature? God damn.
And then what were the multipliers on the?
We had
Ursaluna?
everything
You
with
said
Helping
every-
Hand.
Paranormal.
Everything with helping hand.
Modest Life Orb, Terra Normal. Helping Hand. Alright. I got my number.
Okay. Everyone else is good?
Got a number.
Alright, let's start with Adi.
I was not quite ready yet. Give me one. Okay. I got a number. I'm gonna go. I think it is probably. I am right on the fence of whether it's gonna two shot or not. I think it two shots, so I'm gonna go 55. Let's do that.
55, okay.
You gotta pick the next person, Jeudy.
Nails.
I think Adi's way low. Rodham ain't got no stats. I'm going 72.
72, okay.
Am I supposed to
Alex.
say
I
that?
don't think I'm high, but I already chose my number.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't know if I'm supposed to call Nails an idiot too, then, because I had 85 all along. Like,
Yeah, no,
One of us is an idiot,
I'm
or
scared
all
I'm
of
not.
us. All right, we're gonna calculate.
This is Max Com Rotom. This is not a real Rotom set.
It is not. It is not. It is not. But
Yeah, but that guy ain't got no stats.
we're doing a Rotom fan,
should-
by the way.
You should start with the Blood Moon numbers and then watch as the Ursaluna.
All right. Oh wait, I didn't Terra the Steel. Okay, Steel. Enter. Okay. So right away, it's just doing 38. The Blood Moon's just doing 38 to max HP, max PDF, Rotom, Steel.
Oh god, I'm so low.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Ani. All right. So I gotta let's Terra. We Terra. And it's 51 to 61, and now Helping Hand is doing 77 to 91. Is this what I'm looking at, Jeudy?
Yeah. So.
I was
everyone...
like pretty dead in there, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
That's all right. We Vita live that. That's easy.
Yeah. We have a couple EVs to spare now. We're gonna cut down a little bit.
We might even go modest. I mean,
does modest actually instantly kill us? No, it's 6.3, but you have to keep all the EVs there, Ani. You can't move them. All right. Ani, do you got a calc, or do I gotta think of one?
I was actually going to do a very similar Rotom calc, so you might have to go first.
Okay. Let me have a look at the tier list here and try to remember. I'm trying to think of guys that hadn't gotten to pop off in any of the other formats, but are looking promising for this one. Ooh, I see a guy that seems fun. Okay. Let's just figure out how much this does. So I'm gonna be messing around with Hydrapple. Let's say it's max special attack modest. No googling the numbers, by the way. I don't know the numbers. Max special attack modest Hydrapple. We're not gonna give it anything. Maybe it's I don't know what items this mon's gonna hold, but it's not an offense one. The double boosted Fickle Beam. So Fickle Beam, but it did get that extra boost with Fickle Beam. And we're just gonna say, how much does it do to max HP, Force PDF, Assault Vest, Arcaludon? How much is Arcaludon taking from the doubled Fickle Beam? From max modest Hydrapple. Yeah, Calc Default has it pretty close.
Hydrapple, right?
Yeah, no, we're just modest Assault Vest, I guess. That the Calc Default has Assault Vest on it. I'm here for it.
I'm doing Hydrapple versus what?
Versus Assault Vest Arcaludon. Max HP 4.
Arch.
Yeah, AV Arch. Max HP 4.
And we're calculating which move?
Fickle Beam, which has been doubled.
Okay. Okay, I think I got a number.
All right. Let's start with Jeudy.
Give me a. It doesn't crit. Fickle Beam's not a crit. It's just a double.
It doubles.
Give me 80. Give me 80.
All right. Adi?
I actually had a very similar number. Give me 77.
Nick?
I got 85.
All right.
Worked for you last time. Let's see if it works for me.
Yeah, I saw Kunal's 70 in the chat, and that's probably where I'm at. Let's see. Fickle Beam. It looks like Kunal is in there, 67 to 79.6. I heard a 77 from somebody. I think that was... Who was it?
Adi.
Okay. Wait. Nick, you were too high. And Jeudy,
too
what did you
high.
have?
I took your number.
I had 79.6. I definitely said that.
Yeah. Wait, did you say 80, Jeudy?
Yeah, I said 80.
Damn, that's tough. He was calculating it without the force FNAF. Yeah, there we go. 80.7. All right, Adi, last one.
All right. I am looking at these and all these monsters. I'm like, man, I've played with all these in Reg D and Reg
Right,
D,
I know.
because I played
All the good ones.
played with all the shit mon. Maybe not all the good ones, but
Yeah.
No. How about this? I got my wheezing on the field. My wheezing is actually my Ursaluna answer, and so Alex, you might know where this is going. So they have an Ursaluna. It's burnt. My wheezing's on the field, and they have a spread earthquake. Their max attack adamant. And I am, let's say, 252 HP for defense wheezing.
Okay, the guts bear earthquake, and it's burned.
It's the guts bear earthquake. Yes, it is burned.
Okay.
So which ability are we? Because there's like definitely a way we can maximize this.
There are 3 different answers based on the abilities. That's right.
I'm going 0%. We're levitate.
Yeah. It's neutralizing gas.
Dang! Thank goodness we're not stench. I feel like that one would hurt. Okay. I got my number.
Headlong rush into wheezing.
No, earthquake.
Earthquake.
Burned earthquake with neutralizing gas up. How much is it doing?
And we're switching into Rillaboom on the same turn.
Yeah, and it's ability shield Rillaboom. Anyways, it's not ability shield. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Wheezing spread is 252.4. You said
252.4. Yep.
Okay. God, I got something.
I got something.
All right.
All right.
Let's plug it in. Wheezing. The Calc
Jeudy,
default
what you got?
does have it. Oh, I forgot.
Wait.
You're right.
Guess first, Alex.
Yes, thank you.
Jeudy, what you got?
That's a 3 KO if I've ever heard one. Give me a nice 40%.
40%. All right, Nails, what do you have?
I'm thinking it doesn't get there. I'm going 32.
32. And then Alex, since you last, because you probably know your Wheezing Scout's the best. What do you think?
I'm hoping I know him, but you didn't give him a lot of bulk, right? We're like neutral nature on the 4 defense. So yeah, I was gonna say 42. I was thinking 42.
All right.
Ursaluna, Trick Room Guts. No, it's looking like we're all underselling it. It's still it would Oko this wheezing if not for the burn, is what I'm seeing. Oh no! I got the helping hand on. Okay, thank goodness. I think we're I'm right in there. I'm right in there. Let's go.
Yeah.
36.6 to
Yeah.
43.6. Wow, I know my shit. Let's go, Wheezing. Who else was in there with me? It was Jeudy and Nails. You said 32, I think.
Yeah.
Tough.
I had too much faith in Wheezing, but this Wheezing is not living an earthquake without neutralizing gas.
That's true because of the ability and the lack of a burn.
Yep.
It does a little bit more than that. But let's see how much. Let's change the ability
To levitate.
All right, levitate. We live. Yeah. No, it's actually totally fine.
Very cool.
Wait, why is it? Oh, neutralizing gas is still on. I was like, it's still neutralizing gas was neutralizing the levitate. I was like, why is it doing more than 0? All right. That's going to wrap us up here on Tough Takes today. I didn't mention it beforehand, but if you got here late and didn't catch the beginning of the episode, go ahead and check it out on YouTube. !YT in the chat. It's CK49 on YouTube. CK49VGC. I don't remember. It's one of those two. And yeah, it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow. Other than that, yeah, if you look out for some more streams this week, probably going to check out Reg H finally, start playing some of it. And yeah, anybody else have anything to mention before I figure out who we're rating, throwing this off to? Go ahead.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks like Moxie's streaming. Why not throw it over to Moxie?
That's my goal.
He's on the world's grind right now. He's prepping. So
True.
Awesome.
Shit.
Wait, so that sounds like it's not Regulation H. What the heck? Anyways, yeah, say hi to Moxie for us, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging. Peace out.